Hello, it's the Redeye stream number 92. I have a bad feeling about this, guys. All right, so what I have a bad feeling about is the President of the United States going to North Korea for a sit-down talk in North Korea. I'm not saying don't talk to Kim Jong-un. I'm just saying don't do it on his territory. Do it in Seoul, or do it in Japan, or do it in Beijing for all I care. I just think it's a bad idea to go across the demilitarized zone or whatnot and actually do talks in North Korea. What say you?
Well, who says that those talks are actually going to take place in North Korea?
They hinted at it, but no, it's not definitive yet. But it was hinted at that talks may happen in North Korea.
If it happens anywhere, it'll be Panmunjom. Panmunjom is basically the dividing line between the two. It's a big complex that's meant for negotiations. That's where most of the negotiations take place. All right, so most likely it'll take place at the Panmunjom complex, more than likely.
And so that can be secured by American forces in advance of the president coming.
Well,
right? There won't be any surprises.
They'll have their forces on one side, and we'll have our forces on the other side. It's just that simple.
I still think that's a bad idea. I don't know. I do have a bad feeling about this, man.
Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I'm sorry, go ahead, Meta.
Well, no, and I was going to point out that the story I reported on last night when I made my video on my main channel, a new story came out today, and it's kind of walking it back a little bit, it seems like. Or they got more info and they updated it, because what it originally sounded like was the president said, yes, I'll do it, without any preconditions. Just, yes, let's talk face to face, let's handle this. Now his press secretary came out and walked it back and said, we want to see them de-arming. We want to see the denuclearization start to happen before we will have these talks. Do you think that was the original deal, or do you think the president is now putting an asterisk on it, and that maybe these talks will fall apart?
Well, I think the talks can fall apart at any point in time for whatever reason. I mean, the reality is that you're dealing with a tin horn dictator, all right, with a nuclear weapon. You don't know what he's going to do. Okay, we don't. All right, so the idea that somehow, what you're going to see is a denuclearization. Okay, well, a lot of that's going to take groundwork into, okay, how do you verify that, right? We came up, when we talked about the Russians and we came up with the START treaties, right? We came up with methods to say, this is how we verify. And
what if they... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So you would need some kind of method to do that as well.
Yeah, but wouldn't that method be the UN? Wouldn't you send in nuclear tests, whatever they were doing in Iran? The same type of thing.
No. You can't trust the UN. You think the United States is going to let its security go to the UN? Screw that. If that's the decision, then I would say no. I'd say don't do the deal at all.
Really? You would really draw the line right there that it would have to be American. I don't know what they call them, inspectors going in.
Either some kind of inspectors or something. You're not gonna. I wouldn't mind if it was South Korea and let the South Koreans do it, but I'm not letting a UN inspector go in there and tell me what they supposedly did or didn't see.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, South Korea would be more fitting for this task than the UN or even the United States, right?
Well, I think so. I don't know. What do you think, Boyce?
I just don't understand why they just, don't meet in the center, have a bottle of vodka, and sort it all out. I mean, but seriously, it's not. I don't know if it's going to happen where MC says it's happening. It's a very likely spot, but I think they'll want somewhere even more. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in China.
Yeah, and also, China and Russia is fully behind this idea of them actually sitting down and discussing either a new treaty, or maybe even we could maybe even see the end of the Korean War finally, and that would be pretty amazing.
If Trump pulls out a gun and shoots him in the face, would that be cool?
Yeah, it'll be cool for about 3 seconds until the missile launchers start, operating.
But it'll be an awesome 3 seconds.
There'll be a great light show as we all die of radiation.
Well, MC, I hear you sharpening your knife again. Are you going to be going over there?
No, I'm just sharpening a chisel today.
What do you mean going over there? He's probably planning it.
I've been there, long enough. I've had enough time there.
Oh, you're low.
Who's low?
MC's a little bit low.
There, is this better?
Yeah, now you sound like everybody else.
Okay. No, I've had enough time over there. I have no intention of going over there anytime soon.
We just need like one American ninja with a knife to take out North Korea one person at a time.
Well, I mean, if once again though, if the North Koreans have already agreed to these stipulations to start winding their program down in advance of the meeting, then great, it looks like it'll go forward. But if they haven't, and this is Trump just throwing more, you have to do this, more of the stick, less of the carrot,
Well, that's not the question, though. The question still remains, how do you trust them? How do you trust anything they say?
Yeah, I was about to say, what surprises me most about the scenario is the very abrupt change of attitude. Like, that is, to wake up one morning and to see a headline that says, denuclearization possible in North Korea. I fucking called bullshit, and I thought it was like The Onion or something. Like, for fuck's sake. The chances of them actually genuinely cooperating is, I don't know, doubtful.
I think we're forgetting here. Remember, the vice president and Kim Jong-un's sister were both at the Olympics. Do you think it's at all possible that they had one or more meetings during that time discussing this very thing?
Not unless Pence's wife was also in the room.
No, but I would think that is something that might have happened to facilitate this.
Well, it's possible.
No.
And why not MC?
Because the press, it wouldn't be Pence. It wouldn't be Pence because the press was all over Pence the entire time he was there, like, stink on shit. All right, they were never going to let him have any kind of breathing room whatsoever. Could there have been a back channel with other people under the cover while the press is all in Pence's face, where some lower people sit up there and start these kind of negotiations? Is that possible? Of course it is. I also think that a lot of this is coming about because you've got a weak South Korean president, and this is why it's going to go down to trust but verify. I personally don't think anything is going to come of this. I personally don't think that anything at all is going to change. And the reason is that you can't trust the North Koreans, and the South Koreans will try to give up. The South Korean president is going to sit up there and try and give away the store to the point where his own people will walk.
Well, let's be honest. Here I am saying, from everything you've said, you don't trust fucking anybody. So,
Okay. I trust, for the most part, I trust other Americans.
like Hillary Clinton.
I didn't say Hillary I trusted. Obviously, I don't trust Hillary. But no, I don't trust a lot of these other nations. All right, I don't trust the South Koreans to do the right thing necessarily. At least the president. But the South Koreans themselves, I do, not their current president. Also, the one question and the biggest wild card still remains a potential, a great potential, which is maybe North Korea is responding to things that China has been saying. We don't know. We don't know what kind of conversations they've had with the Chinese. It could be that China is embarking on a situation where they say, you know what, we're tired of you interfering with our abilities to do things. So we're going to side with the United States to some degree and not back you if it comes to that. If they've come back and made that kind of statement to North Korea, yes, I can see the North Koreans then going, okay, we've lost our ability to, if war happens, we've lost our ability to win any war.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and wouldn't that be a good factor for this about face that they just did?
Sure, but once again,
they literally turned.
It would be, but that even suggesting that is speculation. We're speculation on why the madman has said something.
Well, I mean, I think that there's probably good reason for China to be involved in the first place. I mean, who was it? I think it's like a Styx or something. He'll go on about how, oh, well, you see, I mean, China, the incredible paper. I don't know. I can't do a good Styx impression, but you know, he'll go on about how North Korea, you know, it's probably maybe sort of kind of maybe probably going to nuke China if World War VII breaks out, right? So intense it skips like 4 stages. So, but I don't think that that's the problem. I don't think that North Korea is any serious threat to China. I just think that China views North Korea as like that retarded cousin that you have to watch over at the family reunion. It's, you know, they're an asset that they don't necessarily want to see off the world stage and enveloped in radiation. So Chinese have a little bit of stock in North Korea. I don't see why they wouldn't get involved.
Well, no, China would get involved. The question is whether or not, whose side are they going to be on? Okay, are they going to be on the side of the nut dictator, or are they going to be on the side of just, look, we're not going to support you here, and if it comes to that, we'll remove you. Mm-hmm. Right? They're not doing it for their own the auspices of the United States, obviously. You know. Well,
and it's funny, some other things. Well, I mean, what also has happened that could also be making this a reality? There's the tariffs that were specifically against China. Deal maybe to take the tariffs back if North Korea is put to heel.
That's a possibility too. I mean, if China is showing a little bit of gumption to say, look, we'll solve the North Korea problem. I really think that China has several reasons why they want to fix North Korea. One is economically, it would be to their benefit. 2, every time they try to make a move that's somewhat aggressive in the South China Sea, such as those islands and everything, all right, North Korea starts wagging its dick around. Okay. And so all of a sudden they've got to pull back and they've got to deal with the North Korean situation. So that's the second reason, right? The third reason is they would like to see, I'm sure, a resolution to this where they don't have to put so many troops. Right now, you got to remember, China just recently put close to 100,000 troops on the border. Okay. That's not an insignificant outlay when you put that many troops on a border. Mm-hmm. Right, which means you've got logistics, you've got all sorts of things that you're doing with that, and even more, China has to deal with the fact that their other big regional threat isn't the United States and it isn't Japan. It's the Russians, and the Russians have basically made moves in that direction, and the Russians have basically made commentary about how powerful their nuclear arsenal is. China. I guarantee you is not looking at this going, well, you know, these guys are friends of ours. The Russians aren't friends of theirs, and they know it. Yeah. So they're kind of getting hemmed in a little bit in a manner that they didn't expect. So it could be that China is now saying, you know what, we're actually going to start applying pressure to this because with all of our other operations going on there, North Korea is inhibited.
Well, and also, if China could put North Korea to the heel, then the United States has no reason to have the troops in South Korea. That would remove a lot of our presence in that area of the world, which China believes they have the ultimate influence over, correct?
We would possibly reduce the size of our military, but we wouldn't reduce it as drastically as you think we would. I think that we would still probably have at least 10,000 to 20,000 troops there. Now that's cutting it by a third, all right, to 2/3. But I don't think we'll go to the 2/3 right. I think we'll still end up with either 15 or 20,000 troops stationed on the peninsula for at least the near future. Maybe 10, 15 years down the road, we'll reassess the situation and see whether or not we can reduce it more. But a lot of that will depend on how much of a role Japan is willing to take in the new stage of development of what Asia is going to look like.
Yeah, well, I mean, after all, they do have to worry about outcompeting India in the next 10 or so years for manufacturing.
Well, they have, and that's another good point. They do have to deal with what India has to say is India is kind of an interesting player in this, although it's more of a side player in the North Korean peninsula. In the overall strategy as it competes with China, it's probably a much more of a concern.
Yeah, definitely. India's a kind of a B-rate actor in a A-rate film. It's kind of odd that China and India are bumping heads. You think India would be more concerned over their tiny border disputes they're having with Pakistan?
Well, you got to remember that Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is basically Chinese.
Oh yeah, that's true.
How's it going, Ogre?
Dispute with Tibet.
Great, perfect.
Hello.
But yeah, there is that dispute China has with Tibet. But I mean, does China just want to wrap up this North Korea business and deal with their own problems then?
Probably. I mean, it would also behoove them if North Korea had like MC was saying before, a little bit of a better economy and it wasn't so shit. I mean, you effectively have a trading partner with more wealth under their belt. They'll be able to, trade more often with them and everything like that. So,
is it just wishful thinking, or could this actually be a precursor to reunification? And if there is a reunification, would it be Seoul taking control, or would it be the North taking control, or a blend of the two governments?
How do you
I
see
think
blend
we're
of the
looking
two
just a tad too far ahead here, people. We haven't even had the first meeting yet. I think when you don't really have to start talking about, I don't know, reunification for 5-10 years, if ever. I think this is going to be a long, slow process.
Yeah.
It's been a long, slow process. It's been over 50 years. I mean, if they're ever going to reunify, they need to do it sometime this century.
Yeah, 50 years just for two world leaders to sit down.
Why do they have to do it?
They don't necessarily have to do it, but I do believe the Korean people want reunification themselves if the governments do not.
Yeah. And what have I said about want and shit?
Bloody hell, MC.
I was about to say, what the people want, that doesn't fucking matter to the people in charge. The people in charge are going to worry about consolidating power, and they're going to worry about military power along the borders, and they're going to worry about the other fucknugget across the street making the wrong move and, starting a new Korean war.
The North Korean people are not worried about reunification. The North Korean people are worried about food. Okay, they're worried about starving to death.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, at this point in time, their main concern isn't whether or not they reunify with the South. Now, the leadership may have different ideas, but to think that the North Korean leadership even cares what their people think, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the North Korean leadership definitely doesn't care. I think they've shown that with their previous actions. I mean, I think the South Koreans have expressed that before. You know, there's still people with genetic lineages living in South Korea and North Korea that have been separated for 50, 60 some odd years. I don't know how long it's been exactly, but yeah, I mean, there are still people with genetic connections to the North and the South. So I mean, that's obviously somewhat imperative, but I mean, that's unification is really the thing on the back burner. It's maintaining stability that's most important in that region, especially when you're dealing with two big ass neighbors that consistently get big dicks and like to try and fuck those around them, i.e. Russia and China. So I mean, it's no process that you can rush.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, as Voice said, I mean, the first meeting hasn't even happened yet, so we could speculate all day long. Do you want to move on to that InfoWars story that you found, 40? That sounded like it was pretty funny.
Yeah, hold on. let me get it up really quick. It's fucking hilarious. Nope, that was wrong story. Ah, here we are. Right, so this involves Alex Jones, obviously, and the headline reads, "The creator of Pepe the Frog is suing InfoWars." Pepe the Frog, the once innocent cartoon that was a fucking goddamn ads, was appropriated as a mascot for the alt-right and is in the center of a legal battle. Matt Fury, the character's creator, is suing InfoWars, the media company helmed by conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. In the lawsuit filed Monday, Fury alleges copyright infringement stemming from a stylized poster sold on InfoWars' website. The $29.95 poster features a depiction of Pepe alongside other MAGA heroes, drawn by artist John Allen, including Donald Trump, Roger Stone, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Coulter, and Jones himself. The establishment wants this taken down, what description of the poster reads. Instead, celebrate the historic victory and frame this conversation starter in your home. Which I would fucking never do. It actually looks like a shit poster. I can see why they'd want it taken down. So apparently, according to the civil complaint, Fury did not authorize the use of Pepe image or character in this poster and does not approve the association of Pepe with Alex Jones or any of the other figures shown in this poster or the, quote, MAGA slogan. In an audio statement published on InfoWars' YouTube channel, Jones calls the lawsuit frivolous and part of a larger attempt by media outlets to make InfoWars, quote, public enemy number one. And that's pretty much all that's noteworthy, but I thought it was funny, and I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on this. Has Pepe transcended, how should I put it? Is it technically fair use, in your opinion, to use Pepe as a alt-right symbol of Jewish genocide?
Well, I think genocide is bad, but the fact is Pepe is now a meme. It has blown out of proportion, and everybody from middle schoolers to fucking 40-year-olds at home on the internet are using this fucking frog. What's he gonna do? Sue the whole world? I think this is ridiculous.
I think that the question about using it for a copyright, if he's selling images and stuff like that, I mean, there's a little bit of difference when you're using it on free use versus when you're selling something. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to win the lawsuit or should win the lawsuit, right? From what the description is, and I haven't seen it, right? At least from the description, it sounds like it's only a small part of a whole. In which case, I really don't think he's going to have any kind of case, right? But if it's basically just the Pepe Frog image, then he possibly could have a case. I mean, from a copyright standpoint, of saying I'm owed royalties of some sort.
So you're telling me do not put Pepe on a shirt on Teespring and try and sell it? Okay, a note taken.
Probably not.
Now, I mean, once again, if you're drawing it yourself, I mean, if you're making your own freaking characterizations, which a lot of people do, right? It's not that hard to go, I'll just draw myself a frog that's similar to this. Then he's not going to have a case, right? He's got a difficult road to hoe, all right? And I suspect that the whole reason that he's doing the lawsuit has absolutely nothing to do with money that Alex Jones is making and him trying to make a political statement, because he's made these kind of, he can't believe that the quote-unquote alt-right took over Pepe the Frog. All right, and the reality is the alt-right didn't take over the Pepe the Frog, all right, until the press said, okay, and declared it, that the alt-right has taken over Pepe the Frog. Okay, so that must make it so. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a simple question, and I would ask this in court if I was the lawyer, which lucky for Alex Jones, I won't be. But did anybody ever hear of Pepe the Frog before it was a meme? And my answer, personally, is no. I've never heard of that stupid frog. Have you guys?
Yeah, Pepe and Venus. I'm fucking
nerd.
No, I'm not even kidding you. Pepe and Venus and their friends. There's 4 of them in total. I did hear of the comic, but I mean, Pepe was the only one that got popular. Venus was popular on 4chan for a little bit, but I mean, it was literally like once in a blue moon you'd see a Venus meme. But it's pretty. Pepe is he's the head honcho of the group, apparently. So I mean, well, I was just curious because Pepe has kind of transcended. He's kind of transcended the bounds of copyright. I mean, or no, I don't want to say that, but I mean, Pepe's a cultural icon, quote unquote. Maybe not the people that Fury likes, but I mean, nevertheless, it's been altered so many times. You know, there are Marx Pepes, there are Hitler Pepes, there are Hillary and Trump Pepes, there are fucking Pepes for various Pepes. I mean, you can find so many rare Pepes, it's insane. So, I mean, a lot of these Pepes have been altered to the point where it resembles nothing of the original creation. So, in most cases, fucking trying to sue someone for Pepe the Frog, I mean, it's an altered image at that point. It doesn't even pertain to copyright.
Yeah, but lawsuits cost money. And right now, Alex Jones got booted off of YouTube, which is his main income base to get his word out there, other than his syndicated radio show.
Did he get booted off of YouTube?
I thought he got his 3rd strike. I haven't looked on his channel to confirm it, but I heard he had his 3rd strike. And if that's true, are they trying to just dogpile him to put him out of business? You know, just bleed him dry.
The Alex Jones channel. Here we are. Nope. Alex Jones channel is still up on YouTube with 2.2 million subscribers.
He must have got it. Must have won the appeal with YouTube then, because I heard that he got his 3rd strike. I think he announced it on Twitter himself a few days ago, but I guess not. All right.
He must have won the appeals process. Yeah.
But I mean, he had his divorce. That was messy. That probably hurt his income coming in. Now he has what was it? Allegations of a hostile workplace. That's a lawsuit that they're pushing through. Now this stupid Pepe fucking guy is suing him. I mean, it looks to me like they're just trying to bring him down. He's a big alt media face, unfortunately. And if they could take him down, then they could take the rest of us out.
Well, I mean, the thing is I don't know. Fuck, I always forget this fucking guy's name. Matt Fury. I don't know if Matt Fury has ever. I keep wanting to say Nick Fury. I'm sorry, guys. Matt Fury. I don't know if he has ever expressed like public political views or anything like that, but I'm willing to bet that he maybe leans a little bit to the left. He said things that do not strike me as someone who's a centrist. So, I mean, there's a good chance that this could be ever so slightly politically motivated.
Yeah, and voice. What do you think about is Pepe transcended into meme culture and therefore is free use? And also, my question: are they trying to nickel and dime Alex Jones to death, trying to kill Infowars by lawsuit?
Um, Honestly, I think the fact that this even got to court and is even news shows just how far, well, society has fallen over a fucking frog. Uh, do I think he is right? He is only right to his original drawing. Any buddy who has drew a frog with a different expression is not his work, so it's going to be very hard for him to prove that it was his actual drawing and not Alex Jones. All he has to do is say, listen, I paid this creator to draw a frog. This is his frog, and then show 100 different types of frogs from all types of people. So again, I think he's going to have a very hard time proving that in court. Full stop. Secondly, when it comes to Alex Jones' channel, um, I think just like who was it? Fuck. I think it's unfortunately he's too big a name to kill right now. I mean, they'll probably kill him at some point, take his channel down. But now it's too big a news for them to kill. They do it now, it's going to push more people towards Alex Jones. It'll be the Barbara Streisand effect, So I think it's not going to be as easy for Google to, take away people like Paul Joseph, anybody really over 1 million subs, and Google's going to have a real hard time making them disappear because there will be a real outcry about it.
Well, I think you're right about that. I think the one thing is everyone. I personally do not subscribe to Alex Jones. Okay, but I know who he is. All right, so
Doesn't subscribe to Alex Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just giving you shit.
All right. But the thing is that he is so well known that if he did get banned, he would drive people off of Google, literally, in mass. He is one of the few people that could do that. Banning PewDiePie would not have gotten people leaving Google in mass. Okay, because who is PewDiePie? Is he well known? Well, yeah, to his followers, but the people that weren't really following him didn't really care about it. They kind of knew him on the periphery only because he was large, not because he was controversial or anything like that. They kind of knew about him more because he was the largest YouTube person anyone could think of. All right, he wouldn't have been up for a Disney contract if he was controversial in any real sense. Let's be honest. Okay, so if you take a political figure, a well-known political figure, whether it was somebody like Hillary Clinton and you banned them off of YouTube, like let's assume she has her YouTube channel to compete against Alex Jones. If she got banned off YouTube, there would be a mass exodus of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Same thing with Donald Trump. If Donald Trump ever set up a YouTube site and was doing content, right, where he came on and did 5-minute little blurbs to go along with his tweets, and then he got banned, you can bet people would leave Google in droves, and it would affect their business on a broad scale. And I think that Google understands that.
I'm not necessarily saying they want him banned because I think you're right. But these lawsuits, okay, so he runs a organization. He has a building he has to pay for. He has staff. I mean, this man has expenses. He's not me running the Redeye stream with a crappy PC and a $50 mic. Okay, so if they bleed him dry of cash through lawsuit and through paying for his lawyers and everything else, then they have pretty much killed him, right?
Maybe not Alex Jones. There is a slim slim chance, admittedly, that if he were to go to somewhere like Gab, he might survive with, say, maybe half the audience base that he had previously on YouTube. But only, MC's right, only someone like him could actually do something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he lost his money, okay, he could still do his channel with a cell phone or a crappy PC. But his quality is going to go down, and I don't know if he would really stick through it after his rise to fame. That kind of crash would really, take somebody out, wouldn't it?
I think his resources are a lot broader than that now, and there are plenty of people that would immediately fund him in other arenas.
Okay, because I mean, when it comes to like Glenn Beck, right? I immediately, when he left Fox News and created The Blaze, I went to The Blaze. I don't even watch The Blaze anymore. I mean, really, nobody watches Glenn Beck. I have some of his books; they're really good, but he is not what he once was. And I don't think he'll ever regain what he had at Fox News, or even right when he created The Blaze. He made some mess ups. He backed Ted Cruz. He was a never Trumper, and he really pissed people off. And now his viewership has dropped substantially.
Well, I think his viewership, he killed his viewership when he came back from that Facebook deal where we had a great discussion. They really get it. They really understand. They don't. They're all for capitalism. No, they're not. Right? I mean, everyone was saying you're an idiot, and he came back going, "You shouldn't be calling them idiots. You shouldn't be calling them this. They're people too." Which, okay, yeah, there are people, but they're not people like you, Glenn. They're not people who want the best for the country. They're people who want the best for themselves, and what they see as the best for themselves is their tyranny over you. And you're never going to sit up there and find quote unquote common ground. We got to find common ground. We got to find common ground. How? How do you find common ground with a group of people whose total mission in life is to destroy you?
Well, and I would argue that Zuckerberg is not a person. He's a robot or something. That guy's fucking weird.
Won't get very many arguments for people, I don't think, if you want to really push it.
Orion, you just jumped in. We're talking about Alex Jones, and Pepe the Frog. Do you think that Pepe has risen above being a copyright? Do you think it's a I don't know, it's in the culture now, so it's fair use?
Yes.
There we go. Problem solved.
All right.
Ogre can answer the question. Let him answer it.
There we go. Problem solved.
Binary Surfer and MCJK are the same person.
All right, now I've got to look up who Binary Surfer is.
Well, you should know it's you. He's the MI6, but you're like the America, and he says that and I think y'all are the same person. And Pepe rules.
Yeah, but the creator of Pepe is suing Alex Jones. Do you think that
Fuck
lawsuit
the creator
will
of
stand?
Pepe. He ain't creator of Pepe. Pepe was around when the pharaohs walked the earth, man. Pepe chose him.
Yeah.
Pepe was kings.
Yeah, he was kings. He chose him.
Pepe
Forty
was
knows. You can
X.
tell by the malevolent laughter.
Yes, I'm aware of the Pepe and Keck connections and all that. Yahoos. It's good shit.
Yes, but it's real shit. It's real.
It
It's
fucking
real
is.
shit, like when you're wiping your ass and your finger slips and your bare finger runs across your anus. It's real shit like that.
Mhm.
No, it's real. And I do feel like, though, that Pepe chose him. No, all jokes aside, Pepe chose him. This guy thinks he created him. No, the frog god has been around forever, man. He was just waiting to come forth. And Donald Trump, you know, his memes and Donald Trump's troll, his force of troll just reverberated across the eons and brung Keck back to life. Thank God. Thank Keck. Praise Keck.
Praise Keck. Yeah, but why did our Lord and Keckness choose Matt Fury? What a piss poor prophet, I have to say.
Hey, his ways are much higher than our ways, and we shouldn't really question them.
It's true. It's true. Amen.
All right, we'll move on from good old Alex Jones. All right, so I have an opinion piece here out of Politico. If Trump really wants to save the steel industry, he would nationalize it. I can tell already I'm not going to agree. But let's read a little bit. This is by Todd Tucker. Last Friday, the Commerce Department set off an uproar in the trade world when it recommended that President Donald Trump use an obscure law to impose tariffs of up to 53% on steel imports. The agency argued that current import levels pose a risk to U.S. national security, potentially leaving the manufacturing workforce without the skill and experience to carry out a major military buildup. Wow, that's exactly what MC was talking about, actually. But we'll go to the next paragraph. But if Trump wants to address the real national security concerns, stabilize the steel industry, and save these high-paying manufacturing jobs, a tariff is a clumsy way of doing so, likely violating international trade rules and infuriating important allies. There is a much simpler, straightforward idea that could work. Nationalize it altogether. That may sound crazy. After all, nationalizations are rare and political lightning rods. And you want to talk, MC? Go ahead. I don't agree with this guy already.
First, let's start off with, we're going to piss off who? Important U.S. allies? Like who?
Like
Canada?
You know, MC, all those people that totally contribute the correct percentage of their GDP to NATO. You know, all those people.
Yeah.
All of our allies that we have.
Hey, we should move NATO to fucking Toronto.
And nuke it.
Yeah, Canadian bacon, bitches.
No.
Okay.
Look, and Trump has already said that the Canadians at the moment are exempt. All right. Now we do get more aluminum than steel from the Canadians, although we do import steel from the Canadians. But who else is it going to hurt? Who? What other country on the major horizon has been dumping steel?
Are you talking about China?
Yeah, exactly. So this is more a shot across the bow at China. Now, even that may end up getting repealed, depending upon how they play with North Korea, if they are involved in the North Korean situation. But the idea that you can nationalize any industry, all right, is just absolutely insane. And listen to the way the idiot was talking. High-paying manufacturing jobs. Okay. So the manufacturing jobs have to be high-paying? No, they don't have to be high-paying. Guess what? If you bring this back. But people are also forgetting this is also part of the whole process of bringing back manufacturing as a whole back to the United States. They're looking at this as just by itself in a singular aspect. But if you combine it with the fact that we lowered corporate taxes, all right, and we're inviting these guys in the headquarters back to the United States so they're willing to sit up there and build in the United States. Of course, the idea that we can't compete, the main reason that you couldn't compete, if you had a corporation, U.S. Steel, for example, with its headquarters in the United States, when it sold steel here in the United States, it had an automatic 30% tax applied to it. That isn't a tariff. That was the corporate tax they were getting slammed with. So you end up with a 30% tax on that steel right off the bat. Now that you've lowered it to where it's the same as the European countries, all right, where they had a 15% edge and the Canadians had a 15% edge, well, now things are much more competitive. But at the same time, it's still going to have some startup costs. It's going to take time to rebuild that infrastructure that we've lost. Now, there are companies that are saying they're willing to do that, and there's companies that are now putting that outlay in there. But the tariffs are designed to help that. They're not necessarily designed to punish other countries per se. All it is at this point is to get that manufacturing going in the United States again, which that is a threat to these other countries because they know, because Americans have done it so many times, excuse me, they will outproduce, all right, and for cheaper costs, anything that they produce. They've done it before, they'll start doing it again. And that's what they fear. That's what they're deathly afraid of. They're not afraid of the tariff. They're afraid of U.S. steel and U.S. manufacturing capability.
Putting a tariff on fucking steel was stupid.
Well, you see, this is what I said. Who did I say this to? Was this one of your streams, Redeye? But I said this before, that what Trump should have done was not induce tariffs, but mainly make it federal law that companies had to buy U.S. steel first for all their needs, and then anything they needed above that, then they could go outside America for. That's what he should have done, I think.
No, and also, how does the United States, with our massive fucking deficit, how are we going to nationalize the steel industry? To nationalize it, you have to buy all the companies up, correct? Or unless you're going to steal a private property. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
You see, we march our armies through Belgium and we take Paris within a week.
It's ridiculous. Yes, let's take Paris. Fucking just bomb that shit.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower is a fucking eyesore anyway. Hey, was it Benjamin Franklin said the best view of Paris was on top of the Eiffel Tower because you couldn't fucking see it from there.
Considering that the Eiffel Tower, I don't think was built prior to Benjamin Franklin dying.
I know. Who was it that said that? See, I know I threw his name in there, but it was somebody else. Who was it? Was it Henry Ford? Somebody famous said the best place to see Paris from was the Eiffel Tower because you couldn't. Anyway, thanks for fucking that up, MC. Oh, great. I still say binary surfer. Should I say binary surfer? I've got him. I have him now. No, whatever. Look, I'm fucking leaving if this don't get more exciting.
Well, Mad Dodge, how much more excited do you want to
get
this?
I was only bust his balls because I mean I'm thinking about the Redeye here with Mad Dodge, and that's the only thing that's been on my mind. Is that now we're on the brown eye because the Redeye is shut down, and I just saw your tweet, Mad Dodge. I mean, I don't know if you talked about it so much you just don't want to say another fucking word. That's fine, but why in the fuck are we here? Why are we not on your normal channel? And why did they not even send you anything? No strikes, no community guidelines, no fucking nothing. Just a shitload of subs one day, then boom, and then bam. I don't fucking know. Let's bomb Google.
Okay. Redeye Live does not endorse any all comments made by the panel are their personal thoughts and ideas, and not in any way reflection of Redeye Live.
I mean, bombing with flowers.
But no, to answer your question, I don't know. I wrote the Trusted Flagger yesterday on Twitter. I haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah,
either.
I've seen that.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
That's what sparked this. Is that you got the Trusted Flagger and send them back to you?
No, hopefully he will. I heard he's pretty good about it. So,
well, I'm gonna give it a couple more days, but I'm going to hit him also with just like, hey, what up, Trusted Flagger? I'm just a bro of Mad Dodge and the brown eye. I mean, the red eye. It used to be, but now he's got to do the brown eye. Could you please help us get it back to red eye?
See, this is the problem when you buy subs and the check bounces.
Yeah, you know that's what I.
My money goes to food.
You know,
for
I
these
thought that was
children.
a conspiracy theory voice, but now I know it's true because you two are tight. So how much did he spend on them? Was it like $50?
$150.
$50, but you bounce the check. That's what you get, Mad Dodge.
You guys are horrible.
That's what you get because you thought it was going to be slick. Because I was suspicious and you weren't even suspicious, but we figured it out because you were suspicious because you knew you paid for it. But see, you paid, you got in on that. It's like when you get in the Illuminati and they get you in there and then the devil fucks you in the ass anyway.
Yeah.
I hate you all. I didn't buy it.
It's not me this time.
You,
You're on your own there, pal.
No, and I could tell you who started that rumor, but I'm not going to. You could probably guess.
Bollocks.
But
Bollocks.
no, it wasn't Bollocks. No, not Bollocks.
You're looking at him.
He wouldn't even. It wasn't me. No, it was Bollocks. It was Bollocks. No, it was Bollocks. I don't want my name in it. It was Bollocks.
So threaten him a little bit, and he dimes out.
Oh yeah,
No,
it was. It was. I've got the fucking DMs to prove it.
By the way, aren't you snowed in yet?
No, but it's snowing here right now. I can't believe it. But the good thing is in like a lion, out like a lamb. So we should have a nice easy. I planted 292 basils and mostly rosemaries today. So a lot of cilantro too.
God damn.
And we're putting up a new greenhouse. I've got all this stuff. So I'm hoping that it would be better for me financially if this will be the end of it. But we'll see. Time will tell.
How much fucking basil do you eat?
Oh no, I sell it. I sell rosemary is the best seller. You know, a 1 gallon pot of rosemary that I've got Fox Farm mixed with usually Sunshine #2 or Pro Mix. So to make a long story short, I've got probably, I was trying to figure it out today, about 60 cents into each pot, seed and everything, and I sell them for $15. So, I mean, you know, I've got to make as many of those sumbitches as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Oh,
quote unquote basil.
Yeah. Oh no, I make a lot more on that. The return on that thing you're trying to do on that, no, it's more. It's legal here. I make weed too. It's cool. But I don't really want to talk about that because it still feels weird. I'm old school. You know, you don't talk about that kind of thing, right?
No. Definitely don't want to talk about manufacturing pots.
Illegal.
Or the opium that the poppies. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you hear him say? He sounded like Golem. It's really illegal.
No, he's still nerved up because we got him. We know he's binary surfer now. He's like, oh, I gotta check him out, see who that is. We know we got it. I think it's him and the Britisher. They're the same model fucking robot, is what it is. Got my eye on you. I'm figuring it out. I'm a little bit slow, but the best mills grind slow but very fine. Don't forget that, MC.
Yeah, they're very easy to stop as well.
Uh-oh.
That was going to be taken the wrong way, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, my wife's getting the kids ready to leave. 40. The next story is that cannabis candidate one. I posted it in the Redeye stream. Can you pull that up and start that story off?
Cannabis.
Candidate accused. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good, dude.
I said fucking cannabis. I don't know where I got that.
Reefer. I just fired my doobie up too when you picked this one. It's great.
Oh, excellent. All right.
There's somebody in your chat there. That one girl from Louisville's in there. Hi, one girl from Louisville.
Cannabis.
Right.
Hey, why don't you come on air with us?
Using women and inflating his resume.
Straight out of Chicago. Fucking yes. Good fucking shit. Okay. Benjamin Thomas Wolf, an Illinois congressional candidate who's provocative campaign has captured national media attention, has smoked weed in front of an American flag brandishing an AR-15 in his campaign ad, and is running ads on porn sites. My fucking man. All right. But his turn in the spotlight, the former FBI employee has been featured in write-ups in Newsweek and CNN, and appeared in a interview on Fox and Friends, has unearthed a troubling past, including accusations of abusive behavior towards women and claims that he inflated his resume. The allegations against Wolf, the so-called cannabis candidate, who is running in a crowded Democratic primary against Chicago-based Representative Mike Quigley? Come amid a national moment of reckoning on sexual harassment and domestic abuse, and on the heels of a scandal involving Rob Porter, the former White House staff secretary accused of domestic violence by 2 ex-wives. Should I continue? Oh, yes. Katrina Coates, a former girlfriend who interned on his campaign, told Politico that Wolf was frequently physically and emotionally abusive and, quote, doxed her by revealing her name and home address on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All 3. Oh, my. He actually hit me and threw me to the ground and put his foot on my chest. He was really angry. He grabbed my face. And Coates, who... Sorry, I just... Whenever someone says he grabbed my face, like, I don't know. Just have the image of this giant fucking hand enveloping someone's face. But right. It's not funny. Don't fucking hit women. Jesus Christ. Coates, who described at least 6 incidents of physical abuse. I thought it was normal. I can't explain the logic.
Okay.
Like you cared.
Now, wait a minute. You have 6 incidents in your entire life, and all of a sudden you think that this is normal behavior? It hasn't happened. All right, your entire life, but now it does, and you think it's normal behavior now? And you can't explain the logic?
I just figured it was normal. I mean, my parents never beat each other. But,
I mean, come on! I hate to say this.
See why I chose this one, guys?
Good God! Is this the strong women that for International Women's Day that we should be holding up?
Yes, MC. She's brave. But,
brave? You know what? This guy just started to hit me. I guess I should just be a punching bag with nothing else to do with life. The hell's that?
Fucking A. I don't know how you think that, like, domestic abuse is, the norm.
No, hang on. Here. Now, not to take the opposite side here, but we don't know what she did.
Well, that's the best part, because further down in the article, Coates said she did not file a police report documenting the allegations of abuse. Instead, she said Wolf filed police reports against her.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it's a little bit further down. It's like the next paragraph. Skip the paragraph for the Instagram and stuff. Go to the one below that, the little short one. But Coates did not reach out for over a period of 3 months in 2017 did reach out in 2017 to several institutions where she made her allegations of relationship violence, according to an email reviewed by Politico. She was in contact with Title IX officers at both DePaul University, where she is a student, and Roosevelt University, where Wolf has said he was an adjunct professor, and where Coates filed a formal Title IX complaint.
Well, yeah, and you didn't read the little caption under that photo of him, but he's an ex-FBI agent. Like, this guy was in the FBI, so, and he's beating his fucking wife and shit. Well, multiple wives. Yeah, this is a real winner. Good way to go, Illinois, if you elect this fucking guy.
Well, see, here's the thing. If there were allegations that this FBI agent was, like, getting off with, like, Brazilian prostitutes or whatever, then, like, I would kind of maybe believe that. I don't know. This is... The fact that she never went to the police about these And the ironic part that he actually went to the police about, I didn't catch that paragraph. He went to the police to complain about her for domestic abuse?
Complain about her about something. I don't know if it was domestic abuse, but it would pretty much have to be, wouldn't it?
The phone interview, Wolf admittedly denied these claims of abuse, saying that Coates, oh shit. In a phone interview with Politico, Wolf admittedly denied any claims of abuse, saying that Coates had harassed him to the point where he had to file police reports against her to protect his family. He apologized for revealing her personal information and noted that he pulled it off social media. I don't know if that's true. I don't fucking follow him. When pressed whether he asked Hill to kill himself, Wolf said, honestly, I have no idea. No, I sincerely hope not. Okay. He dismissed the accusations as politically motivated and as a result of his recent emergence on the national scene. Quote, I walk around the city with a black leather jacket and leather boots, and this city is scared of me, Wolf said. We're talking about sex and drugs. We have no corporate donors. Okay. Thank you for that information. Tough scrutiny of Wolf's background, however, began before his campaign, attracted national notice. In spring 2017, Women's March Chicago blocked Wolf from its Facebook group after numerous women complained to organizers, said Emily Crame, who is the group's board of directors. Once he started posting, a lot of people started contacting me as the admin of the page. Apparently he has a bad history of women. His background doesn't add up, she said, describing the women's complaints based on all the different things that we were hearing and the way he jumped into the fray and was conducting himself. We removed him from our Facebook group.
Well, no, and I just want to go back to real quick what you said about they're scared of me. Is he talking about in Chicago? Did you see the picture of this fucking guy? There's no gangbanger in Chicago scared of this fuck.
Yeah, he should be scared of Chicago.
But no, and he's holding the AR-15 because he's saying that no civilian should own this gun. So he's smoking weed running for a congressional district, but yet nobody should own the gun that he obviously owns because he's holding it. Yeah, I don't know about this fucking idiot.
Well, they come back further saying that particular weapon is banned in Chicago. Want to bet?
Sounds about like a politician telling you not to have gay sex and then, getting caught with the male prostitutes in the bathrooms.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of that fucking preacher. What was his name? He was this evangelical preacher, and like he would go on like for hours about how it was wrong to have gay sex and do drugs, and then he got caught fucking a guy in the ass while doing lines of coke.
Yeah.
Well, then he knows it's wrong. I mean, look where it led him.
He's like a super villain. I actually reached out to women who I saw make comments on social media, private messaged them, and said, "Hey, I'm just a normal person looking into him. I found out what I found out. He's like a super villain."
He's a super villain.
Wait, so this guy is a fucking Lex Luthor? We need Superman on the case, quick.
Yes, and his evil powers is to cop a feel, and women don't even know.
Asked about the hostile Twitter accounts and his banishment from the Women's March Facebook page, Wolf said he wasn't aware of being banned, but he said, "We love it. We love all the attention."
Oh, fuck.
Okay, well, I think that this guy's candidacy is pretty much done.
Yeah, someone's not going to Congress. But I mean, I don't know. As for the guy's character, I mean, fuck, man, I don't know. I mean, obviously, no one's fucking stories add up. One party's pointing at the other and say he hit me and or she like harassed me or something. I mean, fuck's sake, I'm never gonna get to the bottom of that.
I think it's just insanity.
Yeah. These are the circumstances of powerful people running for office. I mean, there's always going to be accusations. It doesn't matter if they're fucking true or not. They'll still do harm either way.
Yeah, but these accusations sound true, and the way the guy's acting, he seems like a fucking, I don't know. Did he get fired from the FBI? Is there anything in the article about his time in the FBI?
Nope.
Well, it says, let me see. Oh, he says here, that's my living room, that's my AR-15. It's the same model, basically the same model I carried in Iraq. I thought we needed to send a strong message to people. I'm an expert on this weapon. I've been trained on this weapon for years. There's no place in these there's no place in America for this weapon. So, I mean, he's in the FBI, but I mean, he's definitely been, like, handling weapons. I don't know what his fucking job could have been.
What was he doing in Iraq?
I have no idea. I genuinely have fucking no clue.
But I just don't like somebody who's okay with marijuana. Like, you know, that's fine, but hey, let's take away the Second Amendment rights. No, dude, just be consistent on all of it. Democrats used to be consistent. You know,
When?
you knew that they hated.
When?
Well, give me a minute, all right? I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Be nice.
Well, they used to care about civil liberties, did they not?
No, they
used to
didn't.
care about the Second
No, they
Amendment.
didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they
When?
didn't. Remember, it was the Democrats who refused to sign the civil rights movement stuff. It was them that were the ones that owned the slaves. They have a long history of being against anything that is, even slightly pro-human, and for everything that is anti-human, like abortion and all this kind of crap. And then saying that they're for the little guy. That's all they've ever been good at is, oh, well, I'm going to say that I'm for humans or the little guy. And, I'm going to do everything in reality against them. But, hey, people are too lazy and stupid to check whether or not what I'm saying is true. That tends to be their MO.
Well, good point. But they used to be pro-gun, at least back when they were pro-slavery. So at least back then, they were pro-gun.
Only because they wanted the guns to keep the
Only if
slaves.
it was in the hands of their government. If it was in the hands of their entire populace, hell no.
No, and the Southern Democrats loved owning guns. And some of them still do. There's still some Southern
And they
Democrats.
were very, very happy to just hand them right over to the slaves that are running their plantations, weren't they?
We're not talking about slavery. Damn it. We're talking about this asshole FBI agent.
You got to take a look at what they were willing to have guns for themselves, but not for anyone else. They've always been the same
fair
way.
enough.
150 years doesn't seem like that's changed any.
Yeah, but now the Republicans are blamed for being racist, which is really odd to me.
They always have been.
They are
Where
racist.
the heck have you been since you were born, for crying out loud?
In the world of CNN, I guess. No, the Republicans are racist, but just because they're racist doesn't mean they want something bad against you. The damn Democrats are racist. They got the racism of low expectations. The difference is, the Republicans want to teach the other races how to fish so that way they don't come every fucking day asking for more fish. When the Democrats, that's exactly what they want them doing, because they are parasites that get the money from, or the resources from, those actually making it, and the excuse that, hey, we're looking out for the little guy.
Yeah, well, then in that case, our next story that I have might actually be refreshing. So it's also from Politico, and there's still 2 kids at home, but all the rest of them left. So it should be a little quieter with Bleed Over. They're doing a puzzle, but I never was able to say this guy's fucking name, even when he was running for president.
Kasich.
Yeah, Kasich. Two-party system may be in jeopardy. After well over a century of two-party rule, Ohio Governor John Kasich, Johnny Boy, said Sunday a multi-party system could be in America's future. I'm starting to really wonder if we are going to see a multi-party system at some point in the future of this country, he said during an interview with ABC's Jonathan Karl on This Week, because I don't think either party is answering people's deepest concerns and needs. I would agree, and I you know me, I want the third party. I want a multi-party system.
Yeah,
something like they have in Europe.
Well,
It's a wish in one hand and shit in the other, and see what's going to happen. There's
What do
a
you mean?
reason.
No, wait a
There's
minute,
a
MC. This
reason
is not
it's
a wish in one hand situation.
Yes,
The
it is.
the people are more independent and more third party than ever right now.
Okay, and let's
And
see
that's a
where that,
fact.
and we'll see what happens.
well, no, I mean the thing that Johnny Guitar doesn't fucking understand here is
Johnny
that it's
Guitar.
fucking amazing song, by the way. What he doesn't understand is that you don't need to worry about third parties. After this election, you need to worry about people co-opting your fucking party. That's the new quote-unquote third party system. It's just you fucking temporarily invade and use the Republican and or Democratic Party as I want to say an avatar of sorts to push your own agenda. That's the new trend. It's not third parties. It's co-opting parties.
Not the new trend. That's what the trend has always been. It's there's only one. When you think about it, there's really only been in America two-party system.
Yeah.
There have been attempts at third parties. They always fail. All right. Or if it does become so great, what you're looking at is at a point of a civil war.
I had to. Fuck you on that. The Libertarian Party is growing, and they reached their highest mark yet. And they've only been around since the 70s.
Libertarian at all, Mad Dog.
Right, but they can't break 15% in a fucking state election.
They
No, I
won their
think they
lawsuit
did,
to get
actually.
into the debates. They won their lawsuit to get into the debates. So in 2020, there will be a libertarian at the table.
Well, and I think there was someone that actually did get to 17%, my bad. But, I mean, yeah, so, I mean, hopefully at least going to the debates does something, but, I mean, people are so entrenched in the two-party system that it almost doesn't fucking matter. I have fucking no hopes.
Well, that's why you have people like Austin Peterson who jump over and they're co-opting the Republican Party, as you guys are saying. But we were never meant to have a party system. George Washington hated the party system
Then
that grew
why are you for
within
it?
his presidency. I can't just eliminate everything. I can't take away the roads, Orion. I can't take them away.
I don't see why not, considering about 70% of them are only built to keep the road fucking government system going. So, no, I think that you'd be surprised how large, if you see a regular trend like the last election and how large 17% really is, considering half the fucking population didn't vote. So you're taking 50% and dividing that between, the two major ones and then the third party.
But I mean, in aggregate of all the people that vote, if you only get 17%, you fucking pretty much lost.
They didn't get 17% though. They got that in small selected areas.
Yeah,
And-
no, on the state level.
And what have I said repeatedly to Mad Dodge? If you're going to build a third-party system, you've got to go for regional power where you can start making a difference. And the problem with the libertarians is they have no intention of establishing a regional power base.
Oh, you know what? You want to speak about a regional power base? I got in the mail yesterday a letter from the Libertarian Party of Oregon. I told you guys I was a member. And in the letter, it asked me if I want to run for office. And they're like, even if you're not even going to do anything, we need names on the ballot. And I'm like, you guys,
Dude, are you
not the
fucking
way
kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I'm like, guys, that's not what you want to say in your newsletter, dude.
Mad
You
Dodge.
want people that want to run.
I will
Like-
I will go
Mad
to
Dodge.
Oregon next. I will go to Oregon specifically to vote against you.
Mad Dodge.
I should run.
You have to fucking run. Bring the fucking meme to life, Mad Dodge. You have to fucking run. This is a sign from fucking Jesus. You have to run, man. You don't have a choice now. Memes is your actual fucking campaign manager.
You'd be surprised how many,
Hell yeah.
no joke, Mad Dodge, you'd be surprised how many people win things like judge, or if you run in the state, depends on the state, but different lower end categories than president, vice president, anything below that, or maybe the governor. You start to get in this middle or lower level stuff, you'd be surprised how many people win just because there's no one else on the docket.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that the fucking Libertarian Party sent you a fucking invitation to run for local government, if you fucking take that up, I would support you 100%, man. I would make a video every fucking day supporting you, in hopes that at least one person from Oregon would see it and vote for you.
Hey,
I haven't sent it in yet. I was going to sign up to volunteer and literally tell them I do a YouTube channel and I want to have the candidates come on. But no, actually running wouldn't be bad. I mean, that'd be interesting at least. And I would actually call around and do videos and actually campaign somewhat. I mean, unlike being a placeholder that they were saying. I don't like
what
that
position would you want to run
for? Just a second. Let me find the letter. I
Just
responded to them yet.
just run for city council. Just run for city council. Something small. Baby steps. As your second in command of your campaign, I command you to run for baby steps.
Go big or go home.
Don't fucking listen to MC. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Baby steps. He's trying to sabotage your campaign.
Yeah.
If any there were ever thoughts about MC being Russian, he's clearly fucking Russian.
Now I'm a Russian.
Yes.
No, he's a Chinese spy. Russia.
Oh, now I'm Chinese. Okay.
All right. So the available positions are United States Representative, all congressional districts, Oregon Governor, Oregon State Senate in District 1, 3. I think I'm in District 10, and that's up. So I could run for a local Senate seat. Oregon State Representatives, all districts. County Commissioner in a partisan position in the following counties. Let's see, is my county on there? No. So it would have to be either representative, governor, Oregon State Senate,
If you really,
or Oregon
if you're
State
really
Representative.
interested in it, I'm serious. If you're really interested in this, get your name out there as running as representative, and then focus on the colleges where you can get your name in there and get the college kids. Wander around colleges until they throw you out or try to lynch you.
They'll probably lynch you first.
Especially at the U of O. I might be better off going to OSU.
Well, it doesn't just get your name in there. All right, to where you're on those college campuses and you're literally someone that's running for Congress. You really want to talk to a representative. I'm here, and you'll get kids that'll talk to you, and then they're the ones that are going to be. They're the ones you need to get them to do phone banking and things like that to get your name out there. Now, to be honest, at some point in some way, shape, or form, you're going to require funding of some sort. You're not going to be able to do it just on a shoestring type of budget, all right, because your name has to get out there. And so you need at least some cash. You don't need billions of dollars, but you need at least some cash, and then you got to learn how to use it wisely. All right, and how to say, look, this is what I stand for. this is what I'm for. Okay. What about these other issues? This is how we handle these things. This is how you do these things. I mean, but you better come up with some really good ideas on the generics of the positions. Okay. So you have to understand how you're going to be attacked, how you're going to be approached, and you're going to be attacked. Just to let you know, if you do this, you're going to be attacked. Now, as a congressman, it's not going to be nearly as bad. So in one sense, you won't get it. The good thing is as a representative, most likely your family won't ever feel anything one way or another. Okay. That's a little different though if you're running for Senate. So I don't suggest you run for Senate, right, until you're ready for it. Because if somehow and some fluke happens and you do get in and you get to Washington, then you get to see what you're dealing with.
You can be our second insider.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? Fucking, I would have to shut down my YouTube channel though, probably.
Why?
Have you heard what we talk about?
Trust me, you fucking run for this position, you're fucked either way. But
why? But people, people are not stupid. If they sit up there and listen to these things, they're not going to sit there and come away going, "Oh my God, he's a bomb-throwing anarchist." Yeah. regardless of how 40 sees you.
Well, I mean, it's fucking Oregon. You're talking only one rung up on the ladder, in relation to California. So the standards are higher, yeah, but I mean, they're still low.
Well, I know a few positions I would go, especially if I was going to be just a state representative in Salem, is I want to help keep our gun rights. I want to keep open carry. I want to keep our concealed weapons permit. I do not want to ban on so-called assault weapons. And I also want some sort of banking law for the marijuana industry, which they're already trying to push through. That way, the marijuana industry does not have to hold on to hard cash and get robbed. I want them to be able to deposit in the bank.
You're not going to be able to push that because the problems aren't from this aren't statewide. Those problems come from the feds.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I checked my voter card, and my district is up for grabs. So I'm not going to say it live on air, but yeah.
I'll help you out right now, Mads. Mads, click on my name, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
Yeah, give you the power to boot me from my own show. No, thank you.
A bunch of options.
Oh god.
It looks like 40 found the options.
Oh shit, I thought that was you. That's why I laughed. Oh god.
Oh, dude, then it must have been Colt. I don't know who did that.
But no, dude, seriously, right? In all earnesty, think about this. This is a fucking win-win scenario, okay? One scenario, you run for a position, city council or otherwise, you run for a position and you lose. Either way, still publicity, still get your name out there. You can show the shit out of your YouTube channel, right? And if you win, then you do become popular. And you get the position. You actually get to make legislative changes in your area if you go for like city council or something, right? Or the possibility to make legislative changes. Still got to compete with other fucknuts, right? But I mean, dude, fuck me. If I got an open invitation to run for the Libertarian Party, I would have signed that shit like yesterday.
Yep. That's for sure.
Well, I wouldn't be a placeholder though. I would do what MC said. I would actually go out there and campaign. I'm not going to run half-ass and just that way I can go on my YouTube channel. Guess what? I registered to run for the Senate, and then I just keep doing the Redeye, and I don't really give a shit about it. No,
dude, you can fucking go and have a chat with Styx. He'll fucking support you.
Yeah, no, and then I would have to go on camera though if I'm running for office. I would have to try and go on the news and shit and actually get my face out there. So trim the beard.
Been ostracized out of the Libertarian Party.
Well, no, not really. I mean, Mad Dog. Oh, I mean, aside from the fucking.
If he ever got elected, he would never be ostracized again because he'd be the only one who did.
Well, that I mean, Mad Dodge isn't a fucking leftitarian, so the left part of the Libertarian Party will throw a hissy fit, but everyone center or right in the Libertarian Party would be just fine.
Yeah, might even score an interview with Tom Woods. That'd be awesome to talk to him.
Oh my fuck, dude. Tom fucking Woods. If you could
Tom
get on the
Woods?
Tom Woods show, fucking A. Tom Woods is basically runs like a he's kind of like ANCAP, runs a libertarian podcast on YouTube.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm just jumping in for a quick second. Yo, Mad Dodge, I've just been listening to what you were saying about running, and I just wanted to say that you've already put more thought into it than most candidates who would put their name on the ballot, and it seems like you actually care about what changes you can make for your district and for the people in your district. So just listening to you guys talk about it over the last little bit, I just wanted to say that it seems like you'd be the right person for the job to do it. So my advice would be put your name down.
Dude, yeah, you're always drawing news sources from like local areas. Like you fucking clearly give a shit about your community. Like you're always referencing fucking, you know, this newspaper that fucking no one else would care about. Normally they'd source like CNN or something. You are the man for the job.
Here's the one warning I would give you. If you ever got elected to Congress, every freaking day I'd be writing you a letter going, when are you going to repeal the FDA's version of for marijuana? You will no longer have an excuse.
I would direct my secretary to put all mail from MC in a separate area. I'll read that first. That way I can just get it out of the way.
Oh God. Let me read you something, Mad Dodge. Let me read you something. Men nearly always follow the tracks made by others and proceed in the affairs of imitation, even though they cannot entirely keep to the tracks of others or emulate the prowess of their models. So a prudent man must always follow in the footsteps of great men and imitate those who have been outstanding. This is your fucking chance to shine, man. You fucking take it, you grab it by its nasty, wrinkly balls, and you fucking ride this shit as far as you can take it. I bereave in you.
I bereave in you? What the hell's a bereave?
I bereave.
You're already killing him off? You're bereaving him?
Yes, I bereave in him. As his first official Asian voter, I would like to endorse him.
I didn't know you were Asian. Wow, you hide it under that beard.
Yeah. I hide it under my round eyes.
No, you guys, I have been thinking it over, and I'm probably going to talk to my wife about it, because it would be a decision we both have to make. Because I would actually have to not be home with the kids and out there running for an office. So,
well, I mean, the good part is it'll keep you fucking doing something. You know, learn a little bit about, you know, talking to people, refine your political views, engage in some debates with some slightly more unsavory characters.
oh yeah, no, and
just
record it all for my YouTube channel.
Oh yes,
Every
actually,
minute of it.
yeah, that's actually a good idea. Do set up one of those Crowder booths.
Oh, the Change My Mind booth?
Yeah. I'm libertarian. Change my mind.
Oh yeah, actually, during the presidential election, the Libertarians had a booth right outside it's the Saturday market, and there's also a farmer's market every other week. But the Saturday market in Eugene is like a hippie fest, right? They're selling pipes, they're selling fucking all sorts of fucking just hippie stuff. And I could set up a booth there, and I mean a lot of stoned hippies coming by, and I'm a libertarian. I'm all for marijuana, so I could maybe score some hippie votes.
I just want to let you know someone's getting murdered in your background.
You know how?
No, it's the kids watching this.
That's always.
You got the spawn of Satan living in your house.
That's always the libertarian cop out. I'm a libertarian because I like weed.
Oh, I thought you were saying the cop out was that someone was getting murdered in the background.
No, I'm a libertarian not only because I want to end the war on drugs. I also believe in nullification and secession. I believe we should pull back from the wars overseas. I have a lot of libertarian beliefs, sir. It's not a cop-out. I was making a joke, but still. Yeah. I don't like it. Like, not a cop-out, sir.
Well, what you need to do, right, is legit fucking strategy. get the vibe for, I'm sure you already know this, but like figure out the voting block of like your local and surrounding towns. If they're mostly Republican, you probably want to stick talking points that Republicans would find favorable that the libertarians have, like pro-gun and everything. I mean, you like libertarian, like MC said before, you have to get like a solid fucking voting block. And so you need to decide what kind of people you're gonna pander to, unfortunately, because that, as much as I hate it, it's the fucking name of the game.
Well, it's not that so much as look, you need to, if you're really interested in doing this, then there's a lot of things about running that you're not aware of. There's a lot of things about running that I'm not aware of. The only way you're going to learn about those things is to actually attempt it. And since you have people that are willing to say, okay, we're willing to send you up, we're willing to back you, all right, even if it's not a large amount of backing, just a little bit of backing can put you over, at least put you in the point of view of where you can learn the process of these things. Now, nobody says that if you run one time, depending upon how well you do and how you decide how well it goes and everything, you may just say, hey, well, maybe I really got to make a run. Here's the small little things that I did differently. Here's a better way to make a name for myself. All right, there's a lot of opportunities that can open up, even if it's just every now and then somebody's interviewing you on a newsletter. All right, because you were a potential candidate in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they say that they do have a small amount of funds to help libertarian candidates that actually want to run and not just be a placeholder. And they will also help pay for the fees to register to run, because I think that costs quite a bit.
Yeah, not even that, dude. I mean, set up a Patreon, get the fucking word out, though. People will crowdfund the stupidest fucking shit you could ever possibly imagine, right? That people will crowdfund like these stupid little fucking indie games that never get fucking made. Someone will give you money, right? If you can get in contact with fucking Sticks or someone who has like 100 or so thousand subs, get your name out there, get a few viewers for your channel, just constantly talk about, make it a point to not just sit there and read news and discuss things, but to actually discuss meaty topics like we were talking about yesterday, death penalty and all this other stuff. MC is sure to oppose you on many, many things. He'd be a great placeholder for someone who opposes you. People can see you perform under pressure,
Yeah, and slightly inebriated, which I should probably cut back on if I was going to run.
Oh, they don't have to know about that. That's fine.
That might be a resume enhancer. You never know.
Yeah, I was about to say, you never know. I'm usually at my best once I've had 1 or 2 beers.
Hey, it worked for...
What's that?
Oh, I was going to say it worked for Winston Churchill.
Yeah, the fact that I can't...
Okay, you're getting a little bit overboard already trying to compare yourself to Churchill.
No, just the drinking part. That's all. He was sloshed all the time. There's stories of him when he visited the White House, like fucking naked in the tub or something, and called the president in like to talk to him or some shit. There's some crazy stories about Churchill. He liked his whiskey. Yeah,
apparently so.
He was like fucked up half the time.
Stories like this when you're trying to make these kind of comparisons isn't helping your case.
No. But anyway, yeah, no, that was a really interesting letter I got, and yeah, I just been holding on to it. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would have to talk to my wife because I wouldn't do it half-assed. Like I said, I'd actually run, and I know I won't win. There's no way a first-time nobody is going to win, especially for a third party.
It depends. Okay.
Depends on what you're running for. Like I said, you'd be surprised how many people win out of default.
There's a lot of things you got to understand how. Right. You got to strike under certain circumstances. Granted. Okay. Circumstances have to kind of align right in order for you to do it. Who's your representative right now? You got to look at them. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Are their weaknesses so great that I can just pull that apart? If that's the case, all right, then it could become a free-for-all, especially when you start talking about primaries, because overall, let's be honest, the 2 primary parties will put somebody in place that's just going to be a party stalwart. They're not going to necessarily be anybody that's out there. So they tend to be kind of bland and they tend to be kind of milquetoast. If you can come across as I'm not them, look at me, it's very possible to win some of these elections. All right.
Basically run on a Hillary Clinton model.
Yes,
I'm not the other guy.
Make sure you get all the blacks and the Hispanics.
Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm trying to say, look, Hillary wasn't running, I'm not me. Hillary was running, look at me, I've got a vagina, vote for me. Okay, let's be honest. That was her entire campaign.
Time to get a sex change, Mad Dodge.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. That's not going to work.
Also, time to purge the fuck out of your Discord if you're going to run.
Oh, Jesus.
The great Discord purge.
Oh, man. I would help you so fucking quick with that. Oh, God.
You know, it would be really interesting though to run for governor, just so I could yell at that bitch of a governor. I hate her.
Remember what happened the last time someone did that?
Oh, fuck. Good point. God.
But the governor of Oregon is a useless fucking piece of shit. I don't like her at all. And I'll put that on a poster. Fuck them. Take this clip. KZI. Here's to you. Have that clip. She is useless. Fuck Katie. Fuck her.
Bully, you sure are gonna regret saying that, buddy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, most definitely. But fuck, dude.
Yeah, never make enemies you don't have to by attacking someone else. It's always better to.
Have you heard of this bitch? No, but have you heard of this bitch?
And he fucking persists after.
I don't care what kind of scum she is. All you're gonna do is make enemies out of people that would normally be neutral.
Unless
Right.
you're willing,
You're not
unless you're
defending
willing
her.
to make comments like you need to go to jail.
Yeah.
Unless
But
she's
no,
hiding corruption.
But she's not just her, right? She got empowered through parties, through people that financially supported her.
Do you know about the Democratic Party of Oregon? Kitzhopper just got sentenced, dude. The governor that she came after, and they're both Democrats. Kitzhopper was sentenced for corruption charges. And you're telling me that doesn't go throughout the party? Yeah, I won't just say fuck her. I got some actual fucking questions, bitch. Like, seriously. You're telling me that corruption didn't reach you or anybody down lower than Kitzhopper? Kitzhopper was corrupt as hell, and he's going to pay for it. And I think the Democrats need to get out of the governorship of Oregon for a while. We need to go at least not red.
You
we
know,
need to go
you started
fucking
talking about
libertarian.
having him run for something, and the next thing you know, he's got delusions of grandeur.
No, I don't like this bitch. I hate her. She's a fucking I'm not running for governor, but I would fucking yell at her if I
One
could.
thing at a time. If you, the only time you're going to be able to really truly yell at her and get any kind of notoriety would be if somehow you win your election. So win your election first, and then go from there.
Yeah, I was saying,
I could
focus
yell
on
at her.
what you need to do.
Oh yeah, then you could be a foil against her all the time. Are you kidding me? In the local papers, it won't be national, but in local papers, I guarantee you'll be a foil for her.
Oh my gosh. Mad Dodge, you will create so much fucking content for me. Please run. Please run. I'm saying this like half in a trolling manner and half in a realistic manner. It's totally fucking worth a run, dude.
Yeah, I gotta hold back the rants. So, but anyway, any just generalized things you guys want to talk about?
I don't know. I kind of want to still talk about this. I want to talk about your actual run for 2020.
So, Mad Dodge, if you click on my name right now, there's lots of cool options you can pick.
You're not click in your name, dude.
He's gonna click the ignore option. Oh fuck.
Never trust a stormtrooper or whatever outfit that is. Either way, the Empire is evil. Rebel Alliance.
This room
But no,
will be crushed.
unfortunately, I live in Lane County. That is highly blue. I'm on the outskirts. The border into the next county is about 20 miles up towards the pass. So
Okay.
I'm still in Lane County. So I'm in
Lane
Democrat.
County has what major city?
Eugene and the University of Oregon. That's,
Okay, then that's where you're going to have to focus. Is you're going to have to focus and get your name in so that they know about you. All right.
Yeah.
I'm serious. If you're looking at this and this is how you're doing it, this is what you have to do. You got to get your name. You got to go to the University of Oregon. You got to be all over that campus, like once every other week or so. All right, so that people can see you, people know who you are, and you're wide, so people start talking. All right, where all of a sudden people are like aware of who you are. Now you don't have to necessarily be provocative. All right, you can sit up there and make certain statements. All right, when people start asking you about stupid questions because you're going to get these questions like, "What do you think about global warming?" All right.
Oh, they're gonna hate. Oh, they're gonna hate that answer.
I was about to say you're gonna have to temper temper yourself.
You're gonna have to sit up there and equivocate, going, look, we got other problems environmentally, all right, than to worry about global warming.
Well, look,
Let's worry about what we can do here in Oregon first before we worry about what the rest of the world is doing. Because if you worry about carbon dioxide, especially from what's being produced in China, and I'm all for having China sit up there and limit their carbon dioxide production, you can, which is true. I'm sure you would love to have them shut down all their steel mills. All right.
yeah.
So you can put it like that, but you got to sit up there and go, look, we got to look at what's achievable here first.
Well, and another
the thing is with global warming, right? If you fix the majority of the environmental problems in the U.S., you'd be able to curb about 60% of the fucking CO2 problem.
Yeah.
The CO2 is a byproduct of the destructive agriculture and forestry practices of many countries. Of course, I don't think you'd be able to do 60% just the US or just Oregon, of course, but in general, you'd be able to curb most of that just by having good environmental and agricultural practices.
How about I pivot on that issue and say, instead of global warming, let's worry about these wildfires. And what I would propose is a little bit more development in the areas so we can control the undergrowth that causes these wildfires. And we could also open up our economy more and bring more jobs into this area of Oregon. If you opened up
how you want to sit there and give that free land over to the homeless, I guarantee you'll have most of those kids freaking eating out of the palm of your hand.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah, totally go with the Homestead Act.
Yeah. Yeah, be like, well, if they ask, be like, look, if we curb these wildfires, look at all the CO2 is going up there like instantly. It's worth millions of cars.
No, that's the angle I was going to go with.
To the homeless. Yeah. They give us land and are homeless with, certain conditions of maintenance. Then there you go. Problem solved, right?
2 problems solved. I mean, bam. We got less homeless people in Eugene because that's a local Eugene issue with the business owners. If I can clear out the homeless population within Eugene, the business owners would flock to vote for me. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the things too is you don't want to give a complex answer, because a lot of people how should I say this? That isn't gonna hamper you in the future.
Answers.
Exactly. They want something short, concise, to the point, and nothing terribly complicated. Yeah. So we'll work on this. See, this is why you have a campaign team. This is why we're around. We'll do these things for you.
Yeah, an MC would be perfect for teaching me how to debate. Do they even do local debates anymore? I guess they have town halls and stuff, but no one ever shows up to watch.
Well, they have town halls where you're going to answer questions and things like that. Where you'll get questions from the lefties. They'll pack those town halls because they'll put in a bunch of union people.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. So what you have to
So-
do, like I said, is you have to investigate several different aspects, and you got to be aware of who they are. You need to know who your opponents are. You need to know how your policy is different from your opponents. You need to be able to do a quick snipe at an opponent's weakness, and then go on about how you would fix an issue.
And you got to figure out a way.
Trump. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You got to figure out a way, at least once per speech, to put yourself as opposed to Nazis. Nazis are bad.
Yes.
Otherwise,
go.
because you're talking about being a libertarian in Oregon, I mean, you're one hair's breadth away from being, a devil. So you gotta. What was that? The Free Speech Act. They had 4 people, wanting to do the rally. 4 people, 5 people at the rally, and 15,000 people from Oregon protesting it for being a Nazi platform. So.
Yeah, but you're talking about Portland University. Portland University. Come on.
I bet them people were from all over Oregon because it was a pretty big event. There was 15,000 people there. I doubt they were all from the local area. I'm just saying you got to make sure and make that clear. I wouldn't be surprised they go, "Oh, you're a libertarian. How does that make you different from a Nazi?"
Well, it depends. It depends on who you ask.
It depends on who's asking you. Because if the person is asking you, if you happen to be on a debate stage with your political opponents, and if they get a snarky question like that, your response better be something along the lines of, "You're a Democrat. How does that make you any different than a communist?"
Damn right. I need to write that one down. That's way better than my answer.
If
my
they
answer
get
would go
snarky
into
like that, you got to be able to come back with answers like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't start diving into history, guys, and just explain what a Nazi really is. That's
no, that's horrible. Are you kidding me?
That's horrible. No one knows what a Nazi is. Nazi is placeholder for pre-World War I, the devil, right? With the witch hunts. You're just evil. How are you just not evil?
Well,
right?
Not only that, but half the people he's talking to probably don't even know what a history is, for fuck's sake.
No.
Like I said, you need to get your name out there, and once you do that, once you establish your name on those college campuses, and you get your name in the paper a couple times, then you can start developing more and more power. And at that point, right there, you can snowball. But you've got to be able to do something like that. I mean, let's be honest. Just simple things that people don't think about. If I was going to run for Congress, for example, one of the things that I would do is I would sit up there and put on billboards, "Would you like to speak to a congressional candidate? Here's your chance," and put it up there. I will be here at this time. I am truly a person to do this. You'll get people that are curious, the people that are politically minded, which is the ones you want to be able to forward your message, will show up.
I changed my mind booth. It was actually not a bad idea. Maybe not change my mind, but speak your mind booth.
No, I'm running for this district. Ask me anything. Get to know the candidate or something like that.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, no, and if you look at politics in general, there's always been somebody out of obscurity that just won a small election and then won another one, and they end up sooner or later running for president or whatever. Like, what was his name in Louisiana? They ended up shooting him and killing him. He came out of nowhere, and he just got the populist, message through. It was during like the 40s, and they were just so poor down there. They didn't even have food, and he got food out there, and he wasn't necessarily a libertarian, but I can't remember his name. I have a movie about him, but I don't want to pull it out of my fucking where my movies are. You should know MC. I would think you would know who I'm talking about. He ended up being governor, and he was assassinated.
Governor of Louisiana was assassinated?
Yeah.
I'm not aware of one.
Ah, shit. Well, I can't think of his name. But no, he just snowballed. He came from nowhere, and completely snowballed and won governor. I think that was the first election he ever even ran for. But I don't know. You guys were asking me. Yep, that's who he. Yep, that's it. Yeah, Huey Long. Yep. But he wasn't my type of politician. He's a fucking populist, and he was a Democrat too, I believe.
He was assassinated in 1935. And yes, he was a Democrat.
But that movie, All the King's Men, it's the remake one. I like it. It didn't do very well at the box office, but I like it. But any questions you guys have for me? You want to grill me for a minute and see if I could actually hold up under pressure? If not, then we're approaching the 2-hour mark. We could wrap it up. But we still have some viewers, so we don't need to. And the kids are staying in the room. I'm good for another hour or two.
Well, I really want to know. Okay, honestly, Mad Dodge, are you genuinely considering this? You better not pussy out on us.
Yes, I will discuss it with my wife.
Yes.
Which means I am considering it. Yes, I will talk to my wife about it.
Yes. I'm so
Well,
excited.
on that note, unfortunately, guys, I have to step out because it's time for me to eat supper. So I will let you guys go.
Same here. I gotta take off and eat dinner.
All right, well then we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it up, guys. This has been the Redeye stream number 92. Hopefully Trump, if he does go to North Korea, goes where MC said, and there's no real risk to him. You know, right there in the middle, and it's safe. I think I have a bad feeling about that. Good night and good luck.